like literally 6 days ago, we were broadcasting live with some of our purchases from the fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was on
Sweet
Instagram.
Lorraine.
If you're on Instagram, we should find each other because
you should
we're
find
trying
us.
to go live on Instagram.
We should find you
too. So,
but definitely like
yeah.
these quickie sort of things that are a lot of fun.
Exactly, but
I'm thinking.
there we are.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, all you YouTubers.
We've been found.
Yeah, we've been
Yay!
found.
Oh, hi, Fred.
Can't hide for long, eh?
Fred's here.
Hey,
Yay. Hi,
awesome.
Jamie.
We sobered up?
Jamie and Kat. Hello. Good to see you.
Implication, it was a rough night a week ago. Ah.
It was a great night. Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something,
Thank
son.
you, though. I appreciate
We're the professionals. So.
I appreciate that.
So, here we go.
We did sober up. Look at us.
Hey, I always end this...
Hi, Amy.
I always end this broadcast standing up. That's the thing. It may seem like a lot of
I
drinks.
might be asleep, but I'm standing up.
It may seem like a lot of drinks, but we're not doing 151 shots back here.
No.
It's not that kind of party. This is about getting you some fun things that are easy to make, sometimes simplified. Sometimes we take something dreadful and improve it because we're not going to serve you junk. And sometimes we just take it a classic and we say, this is how we make it. It's a real regular thing, you know, food pairs with drink, etc. There you go.
Hi, Peter. And hi, Devin.
Hello, Lisa.
Yay, and
hello,
Lisa.
Errol.
Lisa and
Yeah.
Errol. Hello. Good to see you.
Spooky Portland. I like that.
Yay.
So.
I was referring to this week kicking our butts. You might notice that this is a new computer.
You might not because it looks exactly like the old computer.
Old computer.
The color's a little darker.
Spectacularly died. R.I.P.
Actually, the laptop is doing fine. However, the desktop...
The one where we edit all the videos.
...was really
died.
Giving us trouble. I might yet figure this out, but, you know, we were about to get a new laptop anyway.
Dead.
Done.
So anyway.
So there we go. You've got to have a machine to work with.
And we lost a day because of that. But anyway, you know, replacing
so here we are.
And et cetera. But anyway, home improvement.
Home improvement. By the way, I feel like a fancy cocktail right now, and I think you've got one in mind.
The ice bucket.
The ice bucket, which inspired everything.
Which will be the key to our new living room. We were doing our live video in Cleveland because we were doing show and tell of all the things we bought, and we bought this ice bucket, and I was like, oh, that's it. Because I've been wanting to improve this living room for a long time. It needs help. But I found it in this ice bucket.
The colors really pop. Interesting things.
I think we're going to paint the walls this color.
Might be that one in the middle there.
No, not the one in the middle.
Oh, right.
The one on the end.
Oh, on the end. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, go big. The only color I ever do on these things is the dark
color.
So, or the brightest one, because go big or go home.
So
we'll
be
going big.
Got to make this thing for real. So that was a really fun one. Funny thing is,
thank you, Devin.
We saw this in the first of the Antique Emporia that we visited in Cleveland. It caught your eye. You pointed out to me. I'm like, oh,
I
yeah.
saw it at the first store we went to was Flower Child because we didn't go there last time we were in Cleveland. And I was like, okay, we got to get there.
People kept saying, did you hit Flower Child? Well, no, we were very limited in time 4 years ago. So this time we took the time, whole day, where we hit these places.
So we went to Flower Child, and I saw it behind the bar, and we didn't buy it. Not behind the bar. Behind the bar. Behind the counter. They probably wish it was a bar.
They weren't serving drinks.
They probably wish it was a bar. Yeah, but anyway, behind the counter. Behind the bar. Freudian slip.
We're behind the bar. And you pointed out to me, I took a look, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's really cool, but we got to move on.
Yeah, we're like, okay, so I didn't ask them how much it was or anything.
But behind the counter, you think it's going to be, among the echelon.
Yeah, and then we went to Sweet Lorraine, and there it was practically on the floor.
It was on a shelf, ready to be examined for a very reasonable price.
Hi, Jennifer.
Frankly, we discussed it, and then, like, at the end of the whole thing, I kind of spaced it, and then said, wait a minute, what about the ice bucket? So I went back and grabbed it.
I got to catch up. Devin says that ice bucket looks like Diana Rigg's pants in an episode of The Avengers. I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Seriously, this sort of tartan-clad package.
Larry says, I'm always terrified I won't have everything copied to the external drive. I know, right? At least we can still look. Because that happened end of 18?
19.
19.
End of 19.
No, 18.
No, 19. 19, because in the following year I actually
Yes.
got the machine running
End of
again.
19, because we were mixing drinks at 2 parties, and we created slideshows for them, and the computer died
to
and
death.
we lost everything. So I spent an entire day recreating 2 slideshows. So yeah,
Didn't lose everything, but
I try to back things up now.
you know, I don't think it was the most recent backup. So yeah, some stuff.
Oh,
lost.
Jennifer's been doing home
That's the thing.
improvements.
Hey,
Yay!
I like the idea of that. Hey,
I love the
Excellent.
bold color on the paint
you know,
chip,
home improvement
right?
is a good idea. Oh, by the way, if you're talking,
Yeah, we are going big in our home.
if we start talking hard drives, big recommendation these days: solid state drives. We replaced the drive in
Hello,
that baby with
Jen.
the solid state, and it ran for another year, no problems. Really, it was a beautiful machine. The screen is giving us trouble now, and I think, well, it's like 8 years old, so maybe that's the deal. Maybe it's more like 9 years old. There are lifespans with the consumables, you know. But I tell you, a solid state drive, we got that in the old laptop, no problems the whole time. The standard hard drive, it will die. So if you're
Right.
trusting one of those, you might want to invest in something that's fewer moving parts.
Peter says we should raise a glass to the old computer. I think
so,
I think
too.
the old computer would appreciate it.
It was a venerable item. It has really
Well, we gotta
done
make a drink first.
yeoman service. Yeah, this is kind of not much of a glass, is it?
So Jennifer,
Just a
what are you
glass.
doing? Like, what improvements are you doing? I love
What's
to
happening?
hear.
Yeah, you know, we have some ideas around here.
I'm
You might have
nosy
heard
that
them by
way.
now.
What are you doing?
We're talking about paint. We're talking about fencing. We're talking about all sort of thing. So, what's cooking?
Yeah, I said Jen on the
Hey.
YouTube. Hello.
Hello,
I'm so
hello.
glad you're here. If
So
you
nice.
if you're on YouTube, please comment so
Mhm.
we know you're here.
So, in your
Yeah. Oh, Jamie says Yipper solid state drive and the old 2011 MacBook Pro works dandy.
I think that this machine over here is a 2015. So, even
No.
younger.
12.
This one is a 12? Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
a 12.
even still a younger machine, still a solid state drive, no problems. Whereas everything we got that had a standard hard drive, they fall apart. That's just life. It's moving parts.
You're right. The one that died was 10 years old.
Yeah, it's 10 years.
And it was the second time it's died, so. You know.
Well, the first time it died was because of the drive, but that drive is solid now. By which I mean state. So.
Snagging things from my haunted mansion tiki bar. That is so
now that
cool.
is like the definition of home improvement.
That is fabulous.
Haunted Mansion for $2? Oh, man. Well, a light stick all over the walls. No, that is a really great idea.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
instead of having to fix yourself with a color, you can just get whatever you want to do make that happen. You know,
Painting-
spotlights, colored lights, and they
Painting
hypnotize.
this room is going to be a total nightmare. I'm not going to lie.
You may notice some colored lights around this joint.
Oh my!
Yeah,
well,
that's
the
a good idea.
lights, the stuff on the walls, the shelving that needs to come down.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's also those projection
But it
units
will be
that you can
worth
buy
it.
around Halloween that project things on the wall. You might find something really perfect that you just leave up all year long.
It will be
You know.
worth it.
Definitely. And I would say, you know, oh, you got to wait till Halloween. Well, we're verging on June, so that's not that many months off.
I know. I cannot believe it.
Gotta tell you,
I know that sounds really old of us, but I cannot believe
I cannot believe
End
that
of
we're
May.
verging. You know,
what happened.
what fresh time.
Anyway,
Well, anyway, but you could probably find one of those things did by just going to eBay or going to Amazon. You know, one of the big purveyors is going to have one of those things right now, so that's a good idea for the bar. I think the Haunted Mansion bar is a great idea.
Our DIY
Great
record
idea.
is
And of
there.
course, there are a
Now you
number
can
of
see it.
Haunted Mansion like figural mugs that are used over there at Trader Sam's. So it's like you're right on the edge of being able to grab all this stuff that works.
We're getting like a
just
big hotspot
perfectly.
on the do-it-yourself record. I'm like, that
What?
was everything. Like, okay, I fixed
I
it.
gotta make it good.
All right. Hi, Janice.
Lighting is like that, you know. You gotta make sure everything reflects properly. So
Oh, okay. So Janice, here's where the attic stands. It was going to be like half the value of this house to finish the attic.
in which we stand.
So
So we
what
thought about it.
I think we're going to do is do an addition on the back of the house and then just kind of finish the attic as is and not do a complete remodel up there. Just kind of do new insulation and finish it off so that it's nice. But no, I'm not into spending that much money on an improvement.
The real kicker about the whole thing, if we'd had the funds, we might have just gone for it. But would it have added value to the house? Well, actually, no, because it would not have been considered separate space.
That's the thing. It wouldn't even have been considered a separate room. It would have been considered a gigantic closet.
Because,
well, I'm not spending $100,000 on a closet.
Why? Because of the access point. There was no separate access point. You access it through the main floor, not through a separate staircase. That's the problem. So once I realized that, I thought, there's no way we're doing that. It would be great. I would really love to have a nice finished attic up there and like all the space and everything. It'd be super. Or like a second bath definitely would be a great thing to have in a house. Not happening. So we have to think otherwise. Got to like extend out the back of the house, which our neighbor did 2 doors down. So we had a pretty good example for our designer to take a look at. And
exactly.
she said, "Oh, sure, yeah."
So our short list of projects is this room, and we need a new fence. So a new fence. We're getting a new stove tomorrow. I ordered it and it said it wouldn't be here until June. And then suddenly it's going to be here tomorrow. So we need to
I guess we have to install
figure out a way to get rid of the old one because they won't do that. So, but it's really cool. It's really good. When we finally get it hooked up, it's going to be really fabulous.
That'll be good.
And paint the house.
Then
the exterior.
Yeah.
Because it really looks
it
like...
It needs it.
Crap.
We'll get some help with that. There's also the back of the house where I fixed a door. We're going to
we need a new front door.
And I think I need to work on those windows back there. But that will suddenly look a lot better with just, honestly, a minor amount of like grout and spackle.
We need a new front door that opens.
Yep.
Our front door only partially opens.
Yeah.
Which is really stupid, but it only partially opens. It's so embarrassing when someone shows up at your house and you're like, "Hi, can you just kind of go sideways through the front door?" We've either got to fix, I wouldn't mind fixing the door that's there, but that seems like it's going to be a gigantic production.
Let me see if I can do that. So, I'm game. If I had a really good set of instructions, I would take a day and just bang it out.
Oh.
Because we did the back one, but that was just a question of glue.
Devin's asking what color. Okay, so this room is going to be this color. Mm-hmm. And when we paint the house, I want to do turquoise. So here
we go. And here's Janice.
And Janice is getting ready to build shelving for all your vintage glasses.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
New roof. Oh, list never ends.
I know. Right?
Hello.
The list does never end.
Hello. To begin the project is to beg 12 other projects, isn't it?
I also want to...
Home ownership is kind of great, so I'm good with that.
Besides painting in this room, I kind of want to get rid of the sofa. And for right now, I'm content to get rid of it into the next room. But it's so huge, and you can't watch TV on it. Well, you can't. I mean, we do. But it's not facing the TV. So you have to sit there like this when you're watching TV, or you have to just turn at an on
turn your
angle
whole self
to watch TV. So I'm for getting rid of the sofa and getting a delightful seating arrangement facing the TV.
Let's see what we can do.
So yeah, I was inspired by this is why I put this record here: music to relax by in your Barca lounger. We're not going to get Barca loungers, but I thought that was funny.
Somebody wants a couple of Barca loungers. When we first moved in, we had a pair of chairs that we used to face the TV with.
Errol says there's no reason to remind him more than twice a year that he needs to repair or improve.
What can I say?
I'm sure I drive Paul crazy, but I'm a visionary.
You have the ideas. I can usually tell you what is possible at what exact moment.
I'm a visionary.
This is not going to happen today. But in a couple of weeks. I mean, it took a long time to get to that back door. And honestly, there was a lot of indecision. And we were just going to replace the damn thing. It's old. It's shot. It's this non-standard size. Get out. But ultimately, I just thought, for the purposes right here, right now, what is this going to take? Some wood glue? So we popped it off. I scraped the hell out of it because it was full of old paint. Was there some lead in there? I'm not answering that question right now. I'm just going to say I wore a mask. And... You put a coat of primer on it so it looks a lot better. And I glued the damn thing so it actually holds together and then put it back in the frame.
Now,
and now it closes.
Which it didn't
now
before.
It closes. And once it
this
closed...
door doesn't open, that door didn't close.
And once it closed, I installed
Welcome to our house. Hi, satellite.
I'm talking here. Once it installed...
Welcoming satellite.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Sorry! I'm trying to finish the sentence. Once it closed, I installed a deadbolt. Now it locks. Now that was the kicker.
Satellite rudder sledgehammer. Oh, that's a good name for a drink. There must be a drink called sledgehammer.
I don't know. Let's find out.
There must be a sledgehammer.
All right. I'm sorry.
But anyway.
I'm not trying to talk over you. We're talking like mad here about all these projects. It goes and it goes and it goes.
We should set up the fan in here.
Here's one called sewer water. Do you want to make that?
No.
Oh, man.
No, I'm good.
What's in that?
I'm gonna make my first drink.
Yes.
Okay, I think this is the longest we've gone on without making a drink.
Ramble. We're talking home improvement. I mean, people are jumping in because, hey, popular subject.
So I don't know if this. Okay, so this one is inspired by the ice bucket. We tried to coordinate with the ice bucket tonight.
You did very well. I'm kind of close.
I feel like from now on, all of our clothes need to coordinate with the ice bucket.
Honestly, the reason I'm wearing this is because this is one of the shirts that we managed to nab in vintage vintage shopping last week, and I really wanted to.
Oh, Jennifer's asking about the ice bucket. Yeah, we got that. This is the key to our new living room. Is the ice bucket?
Yep.
I saw it and I was like, that's what we're gonna do. Because I've been thinking for a long time about what color to paint this room.
Coming down on it.
Because this wall is blue and all the other walls are a deep, deep purple, which sounded better in my vision than it looked on the walls.
Tried it for 18 years.
It's very dark. So, hi, Andrew. So we got this ice bucket and I was like, yes. So we're going to paint the room this color to coordinate with the ice bucket. And let me see, what else did I miss? Oh, Lori says I have to get up on the extendable ladder and put the stupid shutters back up and pound all the gutter nails.
Stupid shutters.
My husband refuses to get up on any ladders.
I get up on ladders.
Oh.
Whatever his beef is, all right, fine, not a problem. Got it. I'll get up on the ladders.
I
hear you about the gutter nails. Ours actually work their way loose. How does that happen? I don't know.
So anyway, I'm calling this drink.
So anyway.
Bucket of Love.
Our neighbors got to work this way loose to the point where it fell off.
And was in their driveway for about a month.
It's still in their driveway.
Oh.
I can see it from here.
So 2 months.
So I'm thinking, I understand that they rent, but, I would have put that thing back up.
2 ounces of Reposado tequila for the Bucket of Love.
Sounding good so far.
We'll see if it coordinates with the ice bucket.
I think it will. You're designing this one properly.
I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of Violette.
Ah, Violette.
Yes.
That's a bit of a heavy hit of
Which
Violette.
will make it dark. It will be definitely dark. It'll be kind of like the color of the room now.
Going to be working that purple stripe over here.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Oh,
1/2
pretty.
ounce of Violette.
Yeah.
And 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice.
Excellent place to be.
Lemon. This is the lemon. Ah! Stuck to the coaster. Okay. 1/2 ounce fresh lemon juice. Oh, the dogs are at it.
And here we go.
Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, our neighbors got into... Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
If you follow the saga of our neighbors.
Because if you follow this broadcast, you'll hear them. Ahimsa.
They got into a huge knockdown, drag out, screaming fight the other day. They were inside the house and you could hear every word they were saying. And Paul was on a business call at the time.
Yep.
And
this is my office right here.
And his manager was like, "What's that?" So
that's
Ralph and Alice Cramden.
This is what we're living with here during daytime hours. He was like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. I appreciate it."
5 dashes of cranberry bitters and 5 dashes of ginger bitters.
Ooh, that sounded really good.
I think it'll be good.
Well, you designed them well. It would be very strange.
I need some ice.
If this didn't quite
from
do
the ice bucket.
What do you know? Shall I help you out?
I wish you would.
Pass me that metal part.
Thank you.
Promptly.
I don't think it's going to be the color of the bucket, but who cares? It's inspired by the bucket.
Well, there's some purple in there.
So this is the Bucket of Love.
This may well be the color of the bucket. Actually,
you can make ice bucket koozies when you make your dresses and ball shirts, right? That's a good idea.
And here we
Thank you. Okay. Jamie says Sledgehammer has vodka, OJ, and lime juice. All right. Like a screwdriver with lime juice, I guess.
So there is such a thing as a sledgehammer. I think we can improve that. So it's vodka, OJ, lime.
Yeah, Devin says I would have at least brought it in or something, right?
Hello.
Leave it in the driveway.
Put it on the other side of the garage there.
Amy's working on the garden and replacing draining extensions because none of my other neighbors will do it.
Ugh.
Good for you.
When we first got in the house, it leaked 3 ways from Wednesday, and I said, "Where is it coming in? There, there,
Bill.
and there." So how about new drain pipes that go out onto the driveway?
Bill says their ice bucket came
in my
from the 50s.
cellar. Yeah.
All right.
I believe that. Right. So I hearing about the drain pipe extensions. We got to do that stuff.
But we have new neighbors on this side.
Yeah, they just moved in today.
Who
for real
seem to not be crazy, which is
they moved in.
Always a plus.
Moved in and somebody immediately mowed the lawn. I think
there's
some initiative right there.
I know, right?
I really appreciate neighbors who do that kind of thing.
Cocktail glass, please.
Absolutely. Would you like a chilled cocktail glass?
I would love one.
Would you like a chilled cocktail glass that might make your cocktail taste 73% better?
That'd be great.
I have just the thing. So, shall we?
Oh, Lisa says maybe our neighbors moved to your neighborhood. Maybe.
Could happen, right?
Yeah, it could happen. Oh, look, it does coordinate with the ice bucket.
I thought it would.
The bucket of love. This might be a new house drink. And there's extra. Yay!
Bonus bit to boot.
I love me some extra. I'm going to use a lemon curl because I have them.
Because you happen to have them. How nice. A twist. Nice little thing. Interestingly, I thought that would be more purple than it was because of the violet matching this, but it's kind of matching more of the maroony things going on in there.
It coordinates.
It coordinates very nicely. How about that?
We need to do a bright green drink, but gotta be careful.
Gotta be really careful with that sort of thing. So let's try this out. So this is the Bucket O' Love.
Peter says, noisy neighbors of Middletown. I remember fondly. Hi, Phil.
Do you have any hot stuff in there? I'm almost.
I have ginger bitters.
The ginger. Okay, I'm definitely getting that.
Amy says 73% better, not 74, not 72.
More than 72, not quite 74. We determined that was actually a scientific survey a while back. How much better does your drink taste in a VLK cocktail glass? And we tried it and we tried it, and eventually the conclusion was 73% better. So I will go with science on that one. I'm
happy with that.
And I'm happy with all the drinks that we serve there. So
the Bucket O' Love.
So hello.
Thank you.
And away we go.
Thank you. So in honor of, now we got to go buy paint.
Apparently got to go buy paint.
I knew if I said it here tonight, I would do it because I don't like throwing down and then not following through. So if I say I'm going to paint the living room this weekend, I'm painting the living room. Dying trying.
That seems extreme.
I know.
I'm just saying.
You'll see us next week, and I'll be like, I'll paint across my face and a roller in one hand.
We'll still be painting this place, and we'll be
science
logging on, going
science.
You know what my drink is this week? It's a can of beer. There we go. Hello.
Good to see you.
So nice to see.
So yeah, home improvement.
Did somebody say science?
Science.
You know the guy in the video, the actual video for Blinded Me with Science, which was apparently choreographed or directed by Mr. Dolby. The guy who actually said science and is in the song and everything was an actual science commentator in the UK.
I think I did know that.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
He's got the look and feel of an actual science commentator, and it was. Now I got to look up who the hell that was. He's got this extremely English name like Armitage Shanks, and I think no, that's not it, but it's something like that. I got to find out. Be right back.
Well, I guess maybe I'll just make Paul's drink too, because he seems to have left.
I won't be long.
He says, I won't be long. So.
Not a threat.
I'll just put this one aside and make something else. Unless someone else wants to tell me what they're doing, because I love hearing about your home projects.
What's going on?
Oh, remember the bathroom improvement. I know. We do need a second bathroom. And that will be part of the extension. The word went right out of my brain for a minute. The extension, which apparently you can't get contractors anymore.
Because they're all booked up.
They're all booked up until
eternity. 35. Is that the date?
So
I forget.
So we do have a designer. She is apparently on it, but she said, "Are you in a hurry?" And we're like, "Well, no, we're not really in a hurry." No. Because
she says, "Good."
Lumber is like
because
4 times as much as usual.
As it used to be.
I'm like, no, I don't need an improvement that
frankly,
badly.
Like
but...
all building products have gone up, way up. So even if you're doing the project yourself, it's going to cost you more. But if you do it yourself, you've already hired the contractor, and you will save on the labor. So, and it's probably still possible to cut corners somewhere without really cutting quality of materials.
Oh yeah,
lots of options.
The bathroom improvement when we redid our bathroom, that was
trial by fire.
That was horrible.
It was part 2 because we had already tiled the shower
it was horrible.
When we moved in 18 years ago. We didn't install the plumbing, the plumbers did, and then we had a completely gutted area because it used to be rimmed with that wallboard. This was like a pretty asinine idea in terms of a bath. There was no shower. But in terms of a shower, it was untenable. It would have just fallen apart. So we had to do that.
Well, when we first bought this house, there was no shower.
There was no shower.
There was only a tub, and the walls around it were this wood tile.
It's that like it's not wooden as much as it's that stuff they make pegboard out of, without the holes.
Fake wood.
What do they call that stuff?
Paneling.
It's not homosote. It's like that really hard compressed board, but it was actually the board. And it had score lines every 4 inches that made it look like tile. Cute. Real cute. And also in the bathroom, you could almost go with it. But around, the tubs around, it was a bad idea. It was damaged. So it had to go.
So anyway, we had the shower put in. And then we had to tile it because you can't have wood with a shower. So we're like, we'll do it ourselves. Which was crazy.
What was around the shower? Wallboard, not treated. Okay, well that's not going to go either.
So anyway.
So you had to install the cement backer board, and then you had to like mud that up to make that really like tight, because you're looking for watertight. And then you just slop down all the mastic, and you start applying tile. And then you have to get the grout. And boom, who's mixing grout at 2 in the morning? Me. And who's applying it?
And that was
labor.
When we first moved in, and then we had to get rid of the hideous... Well, for a long time, we put down AstroTurf in there because there was this tragic
horrible
asbestos tile floor that was so scuffed up.
Vinyl tile.
So awful.
It's actually vinyl tile.
Okay, asbestos backing.
Asbestos backed vinyl tile.
All I can think of is asbestos. Like, I just hear asbestos.
Apparently, if it predates about 1980 or so, you've probably got asbestos in your vinyl. Because it was available, tough and cheap.
That's what I'm saying. So anyway. So then we covered it for a long time. And then the AstroTurf became horrible. So finally we're like, we have to retile this bathroom. This is just horrible. So we decided to tile the walls. Like halfway down. And paint and everything. But it was just... Suffice to say, we thought it would take, like, I don't know, a long weekend. And I think it took about 3.5 weeks. And there was no electricity. That was the other thing. There was no electricity in the bathroom.
No. There was there even a power switch? No, you know what there was? They had run a line into there to which somebody had tacked on a fluorescent unit. And this was what was going on top of the mirror that was in there.
Yeah.
And the mirror actually has 2 of these cylindrical light units, which will take the kind of bulbs
used. Which is
used.
really, really cool.
It's actually a cool unit. Very, very 50s deco. And which will take 2 of those tubular bulbs, right? And it never worked. So once we actually were just redoing the power and we pop it off the wall, the guy was saying, well, I can run power to there if you want to get that thing going again. I said, well, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
So I took a look at it and I said, what's going wrong with it? Take the meter to it. And I'm like, the switch was dead. Of course the switch was dead. It was old. That's a $1.98 part. Well, I bypassed the switch entirely and just wired it up because I have a wall switch going through a GFI.
So it should be.
In the midst
of tiling and doing the floor, we also had to put electricity in there.
So that happened too. The electrician came by. I'm like, I need a light here. I need a fan over there, like it should have been in the first place. I need power over there. I need a place to plug into my electric razor.
It was nuts.
All that stuff. Well, that got done. And honestly, the electricity is solid, sound, beautiful job, great stuff. And the whole mirror thing works.
Oh, Peter,
Brilliant.
You're so sweet. Peter says wine out of a Cousin Glendora wine glass is
125% better. Oh, baby. That's
she thanks you.
An extra 50%, folks.
She thanks you.
Well,
Judy says, just finished removing the last of the popcorn ceilings that are new to us home. Oh, I can't even imagine. That's crazy.
Now, by never again, you mean you'll never actually do popcorn again, or you'll never try to remove popcorn again? Because I think either way you slice it, you would never do that again. Yeah.
Larry says, I need to repaint the master bedroom, but first I have to replace all the corner tape since it's pulled out of the corners.
Oh,
I used to think the house on the end of her row of townhomes was pulling us all down the hill. Oh my God.
You get dragged down by the one on the end of the line.
Oh.
You know?
We had to jack up the prices on our sandwich wraps. Oh my gosh.
The
toothpicks went up.
The toothpicks.
Jamie, that's crazy.
A toothpick will cost you like, I don't know, 1 cent. So now it's costing you.
With science.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So anyway, the name of the guy, the actual guy, Magnus Pike.
Magnus Pike. That's pretty British.
Pretty damn English name. Look him up. You'll find out he was a pretty fascinating and pretty funny character. Yeah, I think you can find some videos of him where he's sort of explaining stuff in a sort of a populist science way. So he was perfect for blinding me with, you know? Good heavens, Miss Sakamoto.
Oh my God. Lori says we gutted our basement bathroom, then tiled the entire basement, including the new shower space. It took us from Friday to Sunday just to tile and grout the floor. You think it's going to be, I have learned by now that any improvement project that you think, take how long you think it's going to take and then multiply it by 10.
Yeah, at least by 3, but probably more like 7.
So I say, we'll paint the living room this weekend. It's like 3 weeks from now. It'll be done.
And we're going to be broadcasting from here the following week? Yeah.
Well, if you see us broadcasting from another room, you'll know that we're not done.
First, we need to remove everything from the room.
Yeah,
and go from
I know.
there.
It's no joke.
This wall was painted not all that long ago, and one wall was a hell of a lot less work to do. But that was that. We'll have to see about that. So Peter's asking, does his love for sale record contain asbestos? Well, do you consider your record to be a tile? If it's just another, just another piece of vinyl wax kicking around, then yeah. But actually, no, we're talking about vinyl floor tile. Back in the day, in order to toughen it up, what was used? A heavy mineral that was available and cheap. What was available and cheap? Asbestos. That's what was used. Eventually, this becomes a hazardous material because somebody thinks, well, and then you have to take it out. It's like the lead in paint.
I heard a funny story, not recently, but my old hairdresser, not my current hairdresser, was telling me that her father, back in the day, used to work at a hardware store, and he would bring home bags of asbestos and pour them into paint and stir it up to paint, because he thought it would fireproof
the paint.
House.
Fireproofing the paint.
So he was just like huffing asbestos.
While smoking.
Yeah.
You know? Not to mention the fact that circa 1958, I think it was...
Hi, Jack!
What was the cigarette with the silly little millimeter? I think it was Parliament's. I believe that their filters were made out of asbestos at the time. Can you imagine, like, just really breathing it deep?
Oh.
Good idea, guys. Good idea. Woof. Yeah.
Peter says, whew.
Hey, here's the kicker about that. I was listening today and yesterday to some Damned. And I happen to really like the Damned. Saw them live a long time ago. They were great. And it was the album called Anything that contains a cover of Alone Again or Love Song. And once I finished with that, I said, I want to hear some love. So what did I put on? For Sale. So there you go. Like Minds, psychic connection.
Larry says, you finally got the bathroom done about 2 weeks after you started. I know.
That's life. Home improvement is what we're talking about. Why are we talking about it? Because we're about to do it.
I will love it when it's done.
And what are we really talking about? Sharing the pain. So we're talking to you because we want to hear the stories. You've done it. You've been through it. You survived.
You haven't made a drink.
I haven't made a drink. I'm dry.
Smash it up.
So dry.
He says.
Yeah, let's. Why don't we? Shall we? That's what you did when we first started the bathroom project. You started by demolishing.
Oh, yeah, he got a video of me with
the old wrecker bar.
Yeah.
Boy, was she having a little bit of sadistic fun in there. So I was looking earlier for some drinks that might be very apropos for this sort of home improvement thing. Is there any drink called Home, House, Raise the Roof, you know, that kind of stuff. Lease Breaker.
I'm sure there are all
Nothing,
of those.
Nothing. But I did find something called the honeymoon cocktail. And I thought, well, what do people frequently do around that time? They buy a house. So I thought, fair enough, close enough, I'm doing it.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. I'm going to try this as is and see if this needs any help. I don't really like the proportions.
Ooh, we're going to have a tasting, aren't we?
We'll do it. We are right now, because we have not actually tried one of the base spirits in this drink. That is, we've tried this type of spirit, but we've not actually tried Black Dirt Applejack. Aha! This is one of our locally made Applejacks. We were talking to one of our distillers a while back when we actually shot there about other products that they might serve, and like somebody was asking about rum, and he says, there's no cane sugar around here, do you see any? But I said, yeah, there's plenty of apples though. And he said, yeah, we're definitely thinking of Applejack. Well, one of the distilleries around here decided to do just that, and that is the Warwick. And they have actually done good by their word. They are right on an apple orchard, and they have made Black Dirt bottled in bond 100% New York apple brandy. This is the real thing, Applejack.
You'll love this.
So,
Lisa says, we usually try to hire out on projects that require skill. That's smart. Especially concrete. Errol says when the concrete truck shows up, something's going to happen. It can be good or bad, but it's going to happen.
But it's
I love that.
And you know why? You know what's going to happen? Because that concrete in there, if it's not used...
Hi, it's all Jan.
It will seize up, and then you've destroyed the bed of the concrete truck. So you have to pour the concrete.
Oh, okay. It's all Jan likes her asbestos tiles, so don't get... If you like it, ours were in horrible condition.
No. She's talking on the house.
Oh, on the house. Oh, yeah. Well,
Exterior.
we did too on the
Exterior.
house. And they're not... No, we're just
We still have asbestos tiles.
We're not getting rid of that.
On the house.
Yeah, no.
And the conventional wisdom on that is
leave it alone.
Don't even start.
Leave it alone.
Because to get rid of those would be such a huge project and expensive. And what's the point? The asbestos is extremely tough.
Now we're keeping...
Don't mess with it.
On the outside of the house, it's staying.
But asbestos vinyl tiles, they got to go. They're all shot to hell. They're all old. Here we go. Applejack.
But yeah, outside the house.
Bottled in bond.
If it can be painted.
That means 100 proof, folks.
Smells good.
Wow, that's actually a lot milder than I would expect 100 proof. It's got a burn.
Oh, that's good.
Yep, but it's really good.
Yeah, that's really good.
50% alcohol. This is, a lot of times you'll get 100 proof bonded stuff. You go, whoa, you know, kind of a kick.
Yeah.
I will actually put a little water in this because.
I hope that having the asbestos siding on the house fireproofs us. I don't know, but I like to tell myself that.
Give me a straw, please. I like to say that whenever the grill flares up, when it used to be close to the house, and people are like, what do you think? I'm like, it's asbestos tile. What am I worried about?
But anyway.
A little bit of water.
I actually like it. It's cute.
Opens it up.
Our siding is cute, I think.
It's actually a nice texture.
It just needs to be painted.
It was probably applied around 1953 or 54. It has been, it's durable. It will last basically forever unless something crashes in your house.
And I am not willing to paint the exterior of this house myself. We are hiring someone.
Oh. When you cut that a little bit, that's nice.
I'll take a little bit.
You cut.
I mean, it's, I think it's nice as is, but...
Pardon. There. Just a little.
Thank you.
Drops worth. Drop by drop, and it starts taking the
We
down.
put our current fence in ourselves, which was a total nightmare.
Speaking of your home improvement projects.
Which was a total nightmare, but...
The key to a fence is not taking the fence panels that are pre-made and drilling them together, because that's 4 screws. Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, no.
It's getting the fence posts
I learned this the hard way.
2 feet into the ground and 6 feet in the air. And level. Now, level is not a big deal. You do that while you're installing them. You put like some 2x4s on there, tack them down until everything dries. And you've got quick dry cement. It doesn't take long. Really, you just do one, and then by the time you're doing the second or the third, it's starting to dry. But it's digging 2 feet down to get the fence actually solidified into the soil. It depends on what you've got.
It's horrible.
If your soil has been disturbed any time in the past, it's going to be really easy. If it hasn't,
I think it took us about 10 days.
Because
And he took off a week to do it.
Mhm.
He took off a week from work. And then I remember him calling his manager and saying we needed
I need some
more
extra
time.
days, you know. It was a real project.
It was horrible.
And what are we talking about? We're talking about every 3 inches stone. Every 3 inches stone.
Yeah, there's nothing but
Stone.
stone and clay in our backyard, apparently.
We pulled 3 or 4 bowling balls out of the earth. You really had to completely excavate them and then just deadlift it up about 1.5 feet to get it out. It was astonishing. By the time you did, you were down your 2.5 feet, right?
Astonishing word.
But wow, we still have some of that stone in a pile in the back there. Really,
I use it for
unbelievable.
landscaping.
Yeah,
But
I've used a lot of that. This is a classic thing to do.
so I want to. Our fence is falling apart now,
Real
and
is 14 years old.
we need to replace it. So I want to replace it with a higher fence, which I'm afraid our new neighbors. I don't want them to be offended because we were planning to put up a higher fence before they ever moved in. I don't want them to think that we're putting up a higher fence because of that, because they seem like dream neighbors compared to those people.
By comparison, yes.
But anyway, we're getting a higher fence for more privacy.
A better place.
So, yeah. Anyway. All right. Oh, Josh is asking about the Applejack. That is Black Dirt Distilling.
Of our locals, was
Yes.
just there today, decided as long as I'm here, I'll check out what they've got. And I said to myself, I don't think we've ever bought a bottle of their Applejack. Honestly, it was a pretty good price. And glad to buy it directly from the source, ready to go.
Jan, you are so smart hiring
Really good
out all
stuff.
the painting.
Really good stuff.
Seriously.
I think I'd like to find just a really good house painter who just wants to do the job.
I got it.
You know?
Well, you know, I can
Everyone
when we're
else is
ready
doing it.
when we're really ready to go, we can get on the next door message board.
Saudi.
There are lots of eager young contractors on there who would like to work. So
Yeah, I love when I see a formula that says 3/4 of an ounce. Like, what in the hell have you got that's 3/4 of an ounce? Actually, I've got a shot glass that's 1 1/4, 3/4. Hello. We're starting with 3/4 ounce of the
oh my
Applejack.
gosh. I'm reading Devin's post about the uncle's tiling the roof at 7 a.m. in the summer. You go down to the library. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Turned out to be a good day, though. That's
Yeah,
great.
I tell you.
know, sometimes it's good to just leave. When we got our new windows, I went to Mid Valley Wine and Liquor, which is like a half hour from here. And I think that was a smart thing to do because it was low level driving me crazy. So I just had to get out.
Sometimes you got to go. If you have a project going
igloo
on.
heater in her basement at Union St. covered in asbestos, she can't remove it due to cost. Yeah, because you have to get an abatement, an asbestos abatement. That's crazy.
They cover your entire house in a big sheath.
Oh,
They
yeah.
come in the hazmat suits. They take care of it. It's the way to do it. I mean, I saw it happen on a much larger scale about 20 years ago downtown Manhattan for other reasons that I'm not talking about right now. But the simple fact is that's how it's done. And you think, well, how necessary is it if you don't disturb the stuff? If you leave it alone, it's just an inert material that actually does its job.
Don't talk the asbestos.
It is fireproof. I mean, if it's there for fireproofing, it does do that job.
Devin's mom
So,
used to do fencing, and it was a hellish job. Yep, I can imagine.
Once your fence posts are in and level, then you start putting the sections up. And it's
Oh, Jamie's got home
enjoyable.
improvement drink, screwdriver, duh.
Ah,
Punch list punch.
punch list.
Oh my gosh.
The 2x4.
Rusty nail. Oh, that's a good one.
2 parts jack, 4 parts
Love
cook. That
it.
sounds like the Lemmy.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Rusty nail. Hello. We haven't had the Drambuie and some good scotch. So let's see about that. I am actually making something called the honeymoon. That was equal parts of the Applejack and the Benedictine.
You're right, Jan. High fences make good neighbors. I don't want them to be offended. Well, when we first put in the fence, there was no fence, and the neighbors on either side of us were people who've been here since the 50s, and
They would just kind of walk
they
back
were
and forth.
all buddies. So they would just
Hey.
like walk
How you
across
doing?
our backyard to talk to each other, and I was like, these seem like nice people, but hell no, I don't want them walking across my backyard all the time. So we put in the fence, and we put in a low one because I didn't want to offend anyone. Now I don't care.
Maybe we just want that higher
I was
fence.
like, yeah, I just want a higher fence.
You know, in that time, I've seen children playing in back of me who have no idea that their ball is going to keep coming over my fence. And suddenly I become that guy That old man wants to say, "Hey, kids,
there were those
watch it."
kids a few years ago who, ow, Lisa's okay, and yeah, high neighbors are usually good fences. Jamie,
Hello.
as long as the asbestos isn't airborne, it's fine. Exactly, right?
Bingo.
Wonderful energy saver, Lisa says. Just don't scratch and sniff with it. Oh my God,
The stuff is fireproof. If you have like, I think Jeff and Christy have like one of those document safes, and if you take a look at it, it says like, fireproof, lined with asbestos. I think, well, then don't mess with it, and the thing is good. It will make it through a house fire. That's the idea. That's how it's supposed to be done. Today, we do not use these such materials. We use something else. Well, over time, we might discover that certain things are in fact carcinogenic. Well, that's not so great. So there you go.
Oh yeah, they would just walk through our yard.
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, it was. They were very nice people, but.
I'll take a bar spoon, please.
Okay.
Sure.
But still, I moved into a house so that people wouldn't be walking on my property. I'm just saying. Uninvited.
The general idea behind having a separate house, that is what they call, what is the actual term here? We're not conjoined houses. It's not a duplex. It's not
single family residence.
Single family residence. The general idea behind that is that you have your yard, you have your buffer zone around you. Now, we know plenty of people who live in duplexes. We actually have heard of people tonight who are living in a row home type situation.
Is that the plural, duplexes?
Duplexes?
Duplices?
Duplices?
I don't know.
However you want to call it,
I don't know.
etc. If you are in that type of situation, walls tend to be fairly thick, particularly if they were made a long time ago. I mean, I remember living in apartment buildings where we really couldn't hear the neighbors. It was very concrete. That was good.
Oh my
However,
gosh.
the single family dwelling, separated homes, you got that buffer zone. I got air around me. Pretty good insulator for the purpose. Back to the ice bucket. Hello.
Yay.
Don't mind if I do.
Bucket of love.
Bucket of love is keeping things pretty chilly. I will definitely report on that. One more. And so what do I have here? The honeymoon cocktail. Is this the honeymoon of cocktails? We're about to find out. Once again, I didn't really rattle this off a second ago. 3/4 of an ounce of Applejack. Any reputable Applejack will do. If you have a local being made, try it out. We tried ours out. It's really good. 3/4 of an ounce of Benedictine. That is a proprietary liquor made by monks in France. Benedictine's all the way in the back.
Oh, there it is.
This is one of my favorites. Highly herbal. Very sweet. It's a really great thing to use, and you cannot make a proper Singapore sling without this stuff. So that's why I like to keep it around, and you can use it in a few things. Teaspoon worth of triple sec and a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, and shake and strain that puppy. Let's do that.
I already know this will be good.
Let's actually.
You enjoyed that a lot.
I kind of did enjoy that a lot. We haven't, I've been working some long hours these days, and I've been looking at home improvement. I've been thinking about home improvement, and it's really been giving me the shakes. So I have to get something to calm down.
Duplex. Oh, I haven't seen Duplex. All right. You know what? I think we need to see it.
Mm-hmm. Ben Stiller.
I love Ben Stiller.
Funny guy. Funny parents.
Yeah,
Funny
Jennifer
guy.
and Lisa. What's a Duplex? All right. Maybe for movie night.
Hello, we could try that
That
out.
sounds like a good movie night movie.
For our last movie night, which is mere days ago, we decided to go for a classic, which we hadn't seen in a long time. Speaking of neighbors and roommates, The Odd Couple.
And domiciles.
And domiciles, I tell you, and it was really great to see it yet again. Felix. What is it, Oscar? Is it the cooking? Is it the cleaning? Felix, I'll tell you what it is. It's the cooking. It's the cleaning.
Ooh.
It's those moose calls you make at 3 o'clock in the morning to clear your sinuses.
Josh has been drinking a lot of Martinez cocktails.
The Martinez.
Citadel makes an amazing old time gin. Okay.
We have one
Hi,
old Tom
Karen.
back there, and I figured
Good
I
to
made
see
it.
you.
But it's a fun sort of stuff. It's a pretty sweetened gin. The original gin in the Tom Collins. That's why the Tom Collins has a sweetness to it.
Yep.
So there's the idea. If you make a Tom Collins with Old Tom, leave out the sugar syrup. There's a little hint there. But Citadel, I have heard of. I would be very interested.
Yeah, I know. We need another liquor trip. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not. Good grief. We even bought liquor in Ohio.
Crazy.
So here's the thing.
Jack Lemon's best role. I gotta say that.
Oh, he's really,
Jack Lemmon is great. He's amazing in that movie.
Shockingly good.
And I have to say that he low level drove me crazy the whole time. I'm Oscar Madison all the way. I was just like, oh my God, throw him out.
Unger reverse, perhaps.
I know. All Oscar wanted was a few laughs with the Pigeon sisters, and Felix ruined it.
Felix, you know what you need? A few laughs. So what we have here is the honeymoon. I think that
so good
this did not call for any sort of garnish or bitters. I think I'm going to add a lemon twist because that improves so many things. So I'm going to twist.
Oh my gosh,
release,
Devin, I feel
drop
you.
it in, and we're going to try this little item.
We'd have neighbors who would fight all night long. Oh, I know.
It's a little sweet. I'm going to add just a little bit more.
Thank you, Carradine.
The lemon. I think if they've been at equal parts of all three components, then it would actually work better than it does. Certainly for you, I think you would say this is a little sweet. So we're going to do that.
What did you change?
I got the amount of lemon.
To how much? Is that 3/4?
3/4 ounce.
Okay. I need to note the change.
Stir it in.
It has been noted.
There we go. I mean, I could just I could throw this away and make a new cocktail. Why?
No.
Add it in. It's nice and cold. Give that a try.
Oh my gosh, I love the way we're just like lifting drinks over a new computer. I guess it has to be baptized sometime, right?
I'm not about to spill a drink on this thing. And as a matter of fact, in years of doing this show, I have never spilled a drink on the computer. I managed to spill one underneath the computer.
Please don't jinx yourself.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. Now that improved. So.
I have a case coming for it tomorrow.
Yep.
So hopefully that will help.
I'm holding on to the base of the cocktail glass. Just saying. Big fun. So this is actually fun. Many people on their honeymoon are deciding where they want to live. And they may well figure out where that is and then move in post-haste. That's a very 50s thing to do, I guess. So we're allowing this one because of. But otherwise, I love the idea of a drink called the electric screwdriver or the sledgehammer. That's just great stuff.
Did I make one called the electric screwdriver?
You talked about it.
I wrote it down.
You wrote it down. And there it is. Whoa.
I'm going to finish this one so I can make the electric screwdriver.
Or shall we say, whoa. Perhaps that's something to be worked on.
No, it's there. It's waiting to be made.
Good stuff coming through.
I'm looking at it going, I put orange. Well, I put orange juice because of the screwdriver thing. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll keep it.
You could vary that up because we have other juices to go. Your choice?
Well, no, because of screwdriver, orange juice.
Ladies' choice. Because one of the things that I saw was Harvey Wallbanger, and I thought, oh, you're doing home improvement, you're going to bang some walls.
Okay.
And I thought, what is a Harvey Wallbanger? It's a screwdriver with some Galliano.
Wait,
it's a classic.
What happened here?
I'm not that excited by it. I have ordered it.
All right.
Places.
This computer
did something kind of funny. Click and send it the.
What just happened?
Nope, we lost ourselves.
Okay, wait, it's back. I don't like this. I don't like this.
We have to get used to it sometime. It's our new friend. So far, it's really doing great. Sonic screwdriver.
Oh.
Now, we're getting in Mensa territory here. Doctor Who jokes. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Heard that recently.
God. All right.
Emerald Deuce. Oh, yeah, he was in that.
Or the electric slide.
The Electric Circus. Oh, man. I remember reading about a review of the Stooges playing the Electric Circus in 1970. That sounds pretty sleazy. Electric Circus was actually in the space that was formerly occupied by the Dom, for all those who actually go for classic New York nightclubs. And apparently the whole gimmick was that there were circus performers happening in London.
Mm-hmm.
If you back in the day watched a show called Mad Men, there was a character named Joan, and of course she She had a lot of agita, and at one point she just needed to get out. This in the timeline of the show. This has to be circa 68 or so. She goes out with a girlfriend to a club, and looking at this thing, saying, "That's the Electric Circus."
Yep,
that's exactly what
I
they
remember
depicted.
that episode.
And I think they had fun. Let's just put it that way. So there we go.
Lisa says, speaking of home improvements, we found a tool glossary. Found out a belt sander is a tool for turning minor touch-ups into major refinishing projects. Oh.
Yeah, you probably just want one of those little orbital sanders for that, or just like the handheld. We actually had never had an electric sander until recently. And recently, when I was fixing the door back, I found it very useful. Big oversight. The thing cost you $30 over at the Harbor Freight. We do. Good machine. It's not good at, it's not a contracting tool, but it doesn't need to be either.
Thank you.
Please,
you know what we have now that we didn't have before?
Yeah.
A chainsaw.
This is true. You were very happy with the chainsaw to remove some shrubbery. I've been very happy with the chainsaw to reduce some very large maple logs into smaller maple logs, and that becomes firewood. Because across the street from us
Night, Jamie.
is a long stand of maples. They grow like mad, and when they decide to keel over, you've got dead maples. But it's also very good dry wood. So I just drag one over and chop it up and we throw it in the chimney. Free
Peter's
wood.
saying, who's your favorite doctor? Oh, Kieran's saying Electric Mayhem, the Muppets band.
Electric Mayhem.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Dr.
Yes.
T, baby.
Yes, Dr. T. I have a favorite doctor, but I'm not going to go first.
Doctor who, you mean?
No, just a favorite doctor. Who's your favorite doctor?
Well, he was asking about Doctor
Oh,
Who.
who's your favorite Doctor Who? Okay, never mind. Don't.
Never mind. Never mind.
I'll just excuse myself.
I will refuse.
I'm gonna excuse myself from the doctor conversation. Will he be back?
Yes, he will.
You gotta feel under this bar. It is so sticky. It's gross. I told him this earlier. We were shooting. I was like, oh, I put my hand under there. I'm like, ah, it is so sticky. Yuck. All right, I gotta get rid of that.
That's why we have
All right.
RC fluid.
I'm just gonna do a Felix. I just got through saying Felix drives me nuts, but I gotta. Ew.
Felix,
So gross.
if you buy your life, don't clean that up.
So, well, and then he says, like, Oscar says, please don't do that. Do not do that. And Felix does it anyway. So I'm like, you know what? No.
It's compelled. That's the thing.
Your compulsion.
You know, if you have a roommate who's compelled to clean, you might just want to let him rip.
You know, honestly, if I had a roommate who was compelled to clean, I'd be like, go to town.
Hey, whatever, dude. You're making breakfast? I'll make breakfast. I'll make the
Josh
drinks.
says, you looked suspiciously happy when you said chainsaw. I made good use of that chainsaw. We had some shrubs that never did work out. I hate to say it.
We had them for about, I think we counted rings, 12 years. It's enough.
You know,
I was sad to see them go, but yet
but
I
they're
was
mulched.
not.
They've already been mulched, so
They're already making new plants.
they're already making new plants.
I have to remove some stumps
They're
back
mulched.
there, but by now that should be a
But-
pretty easy job, honestly. You dig them
Oh,
out.
Karen says I could use a chainsaw to cut down some trees, right?
Yeah. Dead branches.
Plus some dead branches.
Oh, yeah.
I know. We have more use will be made of the chainsaw, but it was. You know, I was trying to get rid of these shrubs using tools we had, and Paul was looking online and he saw chainsaws, and I said, "How much is a chainsaw?" And it was like
$48.
$48. I'm like, "Go buy it now!"
Here's the kicker.
Why am I working my tushy off? Like, you
Chainsaw.
can just go buy a chainsaw for $48.
A chainsaw is a gasoline operated device, unless it's not. It's like a lawnmower.
Hi, Cynthia.
Is actually a really cheap device if it's a plug-in powered lawnmower. So dig this.
Ew.
You can find an electric chainsaw that you plug into your wall socket for about $50. And how does it work? Perfectly fine. It is exactly as dangerous as a chainsaw, so you need to respect the tool. But it works just as well as a gas-powered chainsaw. It just is tethered. And for the purposes around the home, big deal. You've got power at the house. So I recommend the electric chainsaw.
David says, I learned from the Black Forager on Instagram those helicopter maple seeds are edible and you can roast them like pumpkin seeds.
Really?
That might explain a few things about our neighbor 2 doors down.
Yeah. That's a different thing, but wow. Okay, so they're edible? Because we see a ton of those. Because the maples...
Thank you, Cynthia.
The maples love to procreate like mad, and we see a lot of that stuff.
Well, we have a neighbor 2 doors down who goes into the field across the street, and it's clear that he's foraging.
And I was actually saying to myself, he's foraging for what exactly?
I know. I'm like, what's growing here that's
what is
worth
growing
foraging?
here that's worth foraging besides poison ivy, which is not. And then I thought mushrooms, there's fungus out there.
Right. But
now, most
there's
of it,
nothing but maple trees over there.
Now, most of it is poisonous, and I am no mycologist. I'm not going to go foraging for mushrooms.
No.
I will forage at the supermarket for mushrooms. But in the wild, I will trust somebody who knows what he's doing. And the one person that I have ever heard of who was a real expert in that sort of thing was John Cage. So we started calling him John Cage. That's the funny part.
Yeah, he's John Cage now. If we ever find out his real name, I'm just going to be calling him John.
The guy's name is Pete, who knows. But the simple fact is, if you know who John Cage is, that's a really funny joke. Because you're like, what? 20th century composer, philosopher? What are you talking about? It's kind of crazy. Hilarious stuff.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm just
please.
catching up with comments.
Yeah.
Karen says, I have a lot of electric tools because I have a small yard. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we have
Electricity
a small yard too.
is your friend in that case.
Anyone who wants to harvest from my gutter, where all those seeds caught up in the meshes will go.
Out.
If I found someone foraging in my yard, I would be like, go for it.
Here's a little secret to you. When I was a teenager, I was mowing the lawn in the family homestead, and it was an electric lawnmower. And I hated the fact that it was tethered.
Ooh.
Andrew
really says, put the chainsaw in your Amazon store because I need one. I will.
Okay. I think we will.
Will.
Because we've used it. I think it's a great tool, and I will recommend this tool. It's a really good thing, For the price, yeah.
I think
absolutely.
if you were probably a contractor and were out doing work daily, you might need a more robust chainsaw.
No, you need a better machine. Look, it's just like, what power drill do I use? I use a power drill that plugs in and says Black & Decker. Great machine. Would I try to put up houses with it? No. But that's the life. You'd get something that's in Makita. Or something like that. Maybe Pittsburgh.
And speaking of,
it
might be time for another drink.
It might be.
I need a shaker setup.
Shaker thingy? We can do that.
Oh, and we have a new cider to try today, too.
We do. How about the white zone?
Why not?
Because the white zone is for loading and unloading only.
The white zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. There is no parking in the white zone.
So, in terms of electricity, I was talking about electric lawnmowers.
He's
I spent my teenage years mowing the lawn with something that plugged in. I was not fond of that. Although I tell you, it was maintenance free. So when we got a house, I said, I'm going to go with gas. So we went with gas. And I've had some issues with gas for a long time. It was a really good machine. It's still a good machine. It's currently out of order. And I said, you know what? That's it.
We got a new one.
We got a new one that is battery operated.
Yeah.
Now that is the killer app. Electrical, but it doesn't plug in.
Speaking of electrical, I'm making the electric screwdriver.
The electric screwdriver.
And I'm using 2 ounces of gin.
Ooh, and you're using 2 ounces of the Empress.
The Empress 1908 because I like a fun special effects drink. But you can just use
any quality gin is good.
Gin.
Quality London Dry. Not Geneva and not Old Tom. Because those are different products. But your London Dry gin, which is most of the gin out there these days.
And then, the OJ. Mm-hmm. Since this is the electric screwdriver, I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of orange juice. I don't do a lot of orange juice in my drinks. Not because I don't like it, but I don't know. Just feels like filler to me. But anyway.
Yeah. A lot of tropicals call for orange juice.
1/2 ounce of orange juice.
In the proportions given, it usually works out just fine.
A 1/4 ounce fresh lime juice. Now I've got that Doctor Who song stuck in my head.
Doctor Who. Doctor
Who. Okay, and then
the actual name of that song is Doctor and the TARDIS by the Time Lords. We own it.
5 dashes of cranberry bitters.
Heard it in London when I was there, and I thought, what the hell is this?
Doctor Who,
So,
Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who. Okay, so we'll shake this with ice and strain into a cocktail glass. And then we're going to top with a splash of cider. And Paul bought
I've got a cider right here
today.
Hello. Perhaps it's Doc Cider Rosé. Also from Warwick.
Hey.
Warwick actually
Ooh,
started
this
out
is
like...
pretty too. Look at
Look at
my
that
drinks
rosy color.
All right.
Wow.
I've got extra.
You got a sidecar there.
Yay for extra.
That's beautiful. The great thing about Warwick is they started out as a winery. So they've got grapevines. Then they moved into cider. Oh, so they got apple trees. And then they started getting into, should we make liqueurs? Because we have cherries and strawberries. They start doing that and they're amazing. Should we distill things? Bang. Vodka, gin, and then suddenly they turn on to the brown goods and they're doing whiskey and rye and the Applejack. I'll do it right there.
Josh says, unless you have to do a chainsaw wielding psycho, in which case you always need a hammered chainsaw.
Oh, yeah. Like, you can't exactly be...
Hi, Anthony DiMartini.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a plug-in chainsaw.
Yes, we're home.
That probably doesn't work.
Yeah, we're here.
You want to top of that, baby?
All right, and then I'm going to top with a splash of cider, rosé cider.
Hello. We've tried rosé ciders before, but I think it was Angry Orchard, which is very good. Now, I have no doubt whatsoever that Warwick is going to make a great rosé cider. Let's try this out.
And it's pretty. It's pretty and yummy. It's pretty yummy.
It's pretty tasty. Oh, yeah. And it's got a distinct dry edge to it, too, which is nice. I like
Fungus among us.
Oh, you know, there's frequently fungus among us. If you're trying to improve the home.
Lisa says our son-in-law is the mushroom scavenger.
Ah, well, whoever actually has figured this stuff out is my friend, because I'm not about to try to poison myself. But I will eat fungus because...
Oh, thank you, Devin.
It's nutritious.
Okay, good.
So, the Cub Cadet tractor mower. Oh, yeah. No.
Donuts. Oh, jeez.
You got to do that in the winter when you're in the frozen parking
says,
lot.
that's what I like about my Makita tools. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
18-volt batteries interchangeable.
Yep. Don't we have something that's Makita, don't we?
No, but we have something. We have two different tools. That the mower we just got is cobalt, and it has a battery that is apparently interchangeable with a lot of cobalt things. So I'm happy with that idea. Like, you can use this in many different things that use this battery. It's a 40-volt battery, so it's pretty unique. But if you were able to use it in 4 or 5 different things, great idea. The actual run time is enough to do front and back in this joint. So
hi, Joe.
I'm really happy with the battery-powered mower. And Joe McDonough, if you were joining us, has even less lawn than we do, so he would be very happy with that. So, straight up.
Oh, this is just the cider.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I like it, because we have a 6-pack.
$26 and a 6-pack to my name. There's a note here about running your mower dry. There are differing opinions on that. I had somebody at Sears, where we bought our mower, tell me, oh yeah, just run it completely dry at the end of the season. You don't want any gas in there. And then I've had sources say, no, you want gas in there because otherwise your carburetor is going to seize up. Well, geez, can you guys make up your mind? Yep. But the real kicker is probably gasoline stabilizer. And at the end of the day, that seems to be an issue. Gasoline goes stale. You don't think about it in your car because you drive and you use it up. Except during the past year where people's cars sat there for a long time, not using a lot of gas. Well, you know, that's kind of a problem with all of the, ethanol that's in there.
Gasoline.
I'm not even going to get into that whole, ludicrousness. You want to talk to my brother-in-law about that. Oh, dumb.
Satellite says, we've been trying to make our tiny backyard look a little more inviting and prepare for setting up a tiki bar on the patio. Yay!
Hey! That's the second tiki bar we talked about today.
I love it.
It's awesome. Devin's working on the Haunted Mansion tiki bar, which is some kind of awesome.
Oh, Lisa says, on our farm, it's hard to find a cord that long. I get it.
Yeah, you know?
Our new one has a battery. Well,
yes,
it has a battery. I was
battery.
about to say 2 batteries, but no, it has one battery.
One battery. 40-volt battery. Pretty substantial little item.
But not if you have a farm. If you have a small lot like we have.
Yeah, on an eighth of an acre, doable. Otherwise, you're talking something else. You could do battery op if it had a lot more in the way of batteries. And I don't doubt that somebody has made such a thing. But otherwise, gasoline.
Karen says, I would like a gravel garden, a rake, patio, and no mowing at all. Yes, we have gravel on our patio, which I do love. Last year I went out and bought a bunch of glass, like the little glass, I don't know what you call them. They're really for like
glass
floral
marbles,
arrangements.
maybe?
Yeah. But I just tossed them among our gravel. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah.
Different colors.
It does enhance
whatnot.
it. Otherwise, we have marble chips, just sort of the standard quartz.
Which is great.
The white quartz, they look nice.
Yeah.
They work well. They're pretty cheap over there at the home improvement stores.
Okay, Larice is on the side of Run It Dry.
Run It Dry. Very old gas. Oh, no. Yeah, old gas.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You know why? Because old gasoline turns into varnish. This is the thing. It's a hydrocarbon. It has a shelf life. People don't think about it. Gasoline doesn't come out of the ground. Petroleum comes out of the ground. Everything that you get out of that, if you distill it, is a manufactured product. And gasoline is a highly manufactured product. That's why it's going to mess up your mower, which is a 2-stroke engine. You put it in your car, it might be able to take it. You know? Because I've done that. When I've had old gas, I'm like, oh, put it in the car. Maybe yeah, no problem.
Really?
No problem. Yeah.
Old gas in the car.
But for the most part, the gas is not going to stay in the car too long because the car uses a lot more gasoline. I remember having trouble when I actually ran a tiny little scooter that took about 2/3 of a gallon of gas and ran for about 50 miles on that. If it sat there too long, it would give you trouble.
Lisa says we mowed 9 foot across a swath.
Mm.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Like the end gas off. Okay.
Yep.
I know what all those words mean.
I've heard recommendations to use gas stabilizer. And you could always check with the manufacturer of the engine, which frankly is Briggs & Stratton. That's what we have.
Not now. We have Cobalt now.
Well, we still have a Briggs & Stratton until I get rid of it.
That I intend to put on the street for free.
Yep.
But
if everybody wants a mower, let me know.
Mower,
let me know.
and a free stove. Because our new stove is being delivered tomorrow.
There we go. Marty's got like a big thumbs up for Steven.
Oh, okay.
From bunking up the carb.
Hi, Marty.
This is the thing. Gunking your carburetor.
Marty, if you know anyone who needs a new stove, we have one that's going to be available tomorrow. And it works.
Very little time at all, and it works perfectly fine. We just wanted something prettier. That's all.
We're getting a retro stove.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
We need something else for me.
Retro stove.
Is that the electric screwdriver?
This is the electric screwdriver.
Maybe I'll make the stone fence.
Do it.
You know, we've made certain drinks on this show before. Since I happen to have some cider kicking around, maybe I'll just make this one again. If you want a classic that goes back to about 1779, you want something called a stone fence.
We've made it before, but we didn't make it with Applejack.
Now, back in the day, I'm sure people used whatever hard spirits they had on hand. And what could you distill? The spare grain, the spare fruit. Maybe it was sherry brandy, maybe it was Applejack, maybe it was whiskey. Who knows? Nobody was drinking vodka because there weren't enough Russian immigrants at the time. But eventually there were, and then that was a big thing. And also Polish immigrants, not to mention the Czech immigrants, you know, people who drink clear spirits. But the brown goods?
Just let him talk.
Yeah. So, Applejack, absolutely. I happen to have a really reputable Applejack behind me. We used it before. It's got to go in this thing again. Let's make this easy. Oh, okay.
Let's make it easy.
I need a smaller one of these, which would be this. Okay. How about a nice highball glass? Well, this one says highball.
Sure.
So perfect, right?
How about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Sure. So you fill this little item here with some ice.
Cars can also adjust better with variations in gasoline. All right.
Hello.
Next show is in the kitchen with a new stove. Right, Karen? Oh my gosh. I will be shooting so much video of this stove, and our kitchen is so tiny. When we do our addition, we'll be blasting out the back of the kitchen, and we might actually have an adult-sized kitchen. Because right now we have like an easy big-sized kitchen. But our new stove, I'm super excited.
Stone fence. Back in the day, you would probably serve this with a gill of liquor.
Oh, Anthony says if you live down
2
here,
ounces.
you mow pretty much year-round. Where are you?
Reveal, please.
We sort of stop mowing in November and start again in April-ish.
April-esque. Although this year, it might have been a little earlier. It was
Might have
really
been.
starting to
Yeah,
grow.
might have been. But we
I tell
usually
you.
start again April-ish.
I like to add a splash of citrus to this just because.
We should just do
I
one
do
in the
not doubt
kitchen.
that the colonial forebears in this country would have used a splash of citrus. How about a couple of dashes of bitters? That's an excellent idea. And then you want to fill that baby with your cider. Back in the day, cider meant hard cider because that's what you did with apple juice.
As one did.
As one did back in the day. I'm going to give it a stir.
I would have given you a clean
A gentle stir.
stir stick, but
The stone fence. You could go into a bar today and say, I like a stone fence, and the bartender could look at you really funny.
they'll be like, what?
You could also go into a bar and say, hey, do you happen to have Applejack back there or whiskey? Sure, of course. Could you give me like a shot of whiskey in a tall glass with a lot of ice? Okay. Could you fill that up with cider? Yeah, sure. You got bitters? Yep. You get a stone fence. It's not that hard if you can tell the bartender what to do. And a lot of contemporary bartenders in a sort of a hipper place will know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, well, all of the ones that appreciate classic drinks will...
That is so refreshing.
I want to be refreshed.
Well, you do. It's a real drink. It's not something like really low octane.
Oh, that's good.
It's got some kick to it.
Mm.
It's a tall drink, so it's going to take
It's
you
delicious.
a while to finish that off. It's got
I
a
recommend
lovely
it.
local cider, which is a great thing to put in that. If you're thinking to yourself,
Ooh.
gee, I'm not that big a fan of cider, but I love Prosecco. Yeah, that would work.
Okay. Anthony is in
Sure.
Virginia Beach and Key
Oh.
West. Oh, good for
Ah.
you.
Hello. Oh, I hear that, Karen.
Hi,
Oh,
Brent.
very
Oh,
nice.
Brent's asking about the cider. Good to see you, Brent. This is
It is
Doc's
excellent to see you.
cider. If you can get it, I recommend it.
Highly recommended brand.
It's made very close to our house,
Local
but
to us.
it's available in our supermarket, etc. So if you can get Doc's cider,
I think it's frequently labeled as Doc's Draft.
Doc's Draft,
Yep.
yeah.
And it's going from Warwick Distillery, Winery, Cidery. All this, what do they call themselves here? They say,
It's a
they say,
cidery.
we grow apples, we know cider. Yeah, they do. They're really serious about this. It's made from New York State apples fermented with champagne yeast, strawberry juice, and rose petals. That's what makes it the
Pardon
rosé.
me.
Wow. Kind of fancy? It doesn't
New York
taste like
State
strawberry.
apples. Excuse me.
It just tastes like you've got some other flavor notes going on there. It's a beautiful product. Really nice. So, recommended. You might have to look around a little bit if you're not too contiguous to New York State.
Contiguous. If you're not too contiguous,
But for that matter, if you're driving through, check it out. You'll really like this product.
right? If you're driving through, I created a list. I need to update it, since COVID. But I created a list of distilleries that were sort of in our region.
Local to us. Within a few hours.
I need to update that.
We can check that out and make sure who is open, who is still operating, etc.
Places you can visit.
I
have
don't
a tasting,
think these places tend to be pretty capitalized, so I don't think that anybody went out in the past year. It just meant that their local business really suffered, but they're probably still going strong. I saw Warwick today, and they were hopping.
Were there a lot of people there?
There were people there. Oh, yeah.
Good.
For Thursday, pretty good. I picked up an entire case of their liqueurs from one of our friends who might be watching. And the fact is, he is really addicted to this stuff because it's that good. So, you know, it could be done. I just thought.
And if you want us to pick up any liqueur for you, let us know.
If we can meet up, we can make it happen. Shipping is another thing. It depends on your state. You may be in Kentucky and, I can't have anything shipped to me. Oh, that's kind of a drag.
No, but if you're driving through, we will rum run for you or liqueur run. It doesn't have the same ring, but
rum run covers all bases, I think.
But we will run rum
for you.
Run rum.
Perhaps we can trade off. Perhaps your state makes whiskey. Perhaps your state makes some fine liqueurs. Many do these days. The laws have been loosened up a little bit in recent years. I will call that positive.
Gotta catch up on the comments.
Checking them out.
Oh, the cider is good.
Yeah, it's really good. They have several different levels of this cider. This is the rosé, which has different things added to it. They added some color and some flavor. It's really, really nice. It's still a very dry cider. Among my favorites locally. It's still coming from Soon's Orchards. And they have, I think, 5 different levels of cider. There are various levels of sweet. The more you go up, the drier it gets. And their top level is just like champagne.
I had the driest, and it was just like champagne.
It's just like a top level carbonated product. It's so good. It's really nice. And then we were talking to them last year. We happened to stop by during a time when we could be there, safely distanced and all that.
We sat outside.
I had a couple, had some food. Yep. And one of the guys recognized us. Hi, I've seen it on Instagram. He was talking about the fact that they're growing specific cider apples, like really old school cider apples, and making a very dry cider. And I thought, I want to check this out. So they're getting very hardcore with the cider. No pun. Back in the day,
hardcore.
Among your top states for such things were New York and New Jersey. New Jersey apparently is getting very, very heavy on the cider. And New Jersey is a state of Applejack.
Lisa's asking about the next cocktail. All right.
What could that possibly be? There's always the next cocktail.
Let's see. We're going to create it now, Lisa, while you're watching.
Unless you can find something. I was looking very hard for appropriate home improvement cocktails.
Home improvement cocktails.
If you look, you're not going to find something called the home improvement. Yeah, I looked. It wasn't there.
I already have a text ready.
I tell you. The Ward 8 does not qualify because that refers to a political division, not a house. But it's a classic.
Nope.
It really is a good cocktail. Yeah. Let's see. I got the Wild Thing. I got the Will Rogers. I got the Wiki Woo.
Nope.
Oh, sorry. That's the Wiki Wacky Woo.
Nope. Also nope.
Yeah. No. Yeah, let's see here.
Nope.
Nope. You don't want that.
Nope. Pre-noping you.
Something called the Sputnik?
Nope.
No, that probably involves vodka. So no.
We ran out of vodka.
We're out of vodka. Sorry. Sorry for all you vodka fans. But I like to keep vodka on hand because of. So, let's see here.
There's nothing called Tool?
Nope.
Anything?
Let's try that out. There's something called a tomato cooler. That sounds
no.
awful.
Nope.
Oh, wow. do that?
Nope.
Oh, I just got an ulcer.
Also,
Oh,
nope.
No good.
Nope.
Jeez.
Nope.
Why do people do such things?
Mm-mm.
I'm telling you.
Oh, Princess have a bottle of Doc's Dry Hop apple cider. Yay!
Oh,
So good.
Hello. Big fun. Moving right along. Turn the page. Try to find something better.
We could always create something ourselves, but I'm curious as to what the book says.
Yeah, I'm not going to run through the entire book, but let's see. I already mentioned the sewer water, which I checked out. It looks horrible.
Nope.
Horrible.
Nope.
Not doing
sewer water.
Sewers are an essential part of a house because you need to, remove things. And obviously that kind of qualifies, but do you want to drink something called sewer water?
No, I do not.
There's any manner of really rude and obscenely named shots out there, which we don't like to get into because
we could do the
so that kind of fits in
water main.
The water main, There was an issue with the water main before this house was sold, and I thought, good grief, what else could possibly go wrong with this house? But it was solved, and it has been solved, and people signed a contract, they're in. I'm kind of glad with that. So let's see here. You never know what's going to turn up. In fact, there's something called You Never Know, which I don't recommend because it's terrible.
We've done that.
Yeah, it was
done it.
Really pretty bad.
Done it.
I have indigestion. Let's see.
Bloody Mary. Yeah. Okay, wait. This says Bloody Mary. Yes, tomato cooler. Oh, no.
If you're interested, I will drop that on you in a private mail because I'm not going to drop it on this entire group.
Right.
This happens to be, by the way, the
Lisa says our farm was pretty close to where Will Rogers was born.
Well, how about that? Yeah. He is noted Oklahoma resident.
That's right.
Noted humorist. Very pithy. It's really funny to read like scripts and things.
The airport, it was the Will Rogers International Airport. I remember that.
He actually had, I think he had a running radio series where he would actually talk. And he worked that sort of Okie thing for a long time very well. If I'm not mistaken, he died in a plane crash with Wiley Post, aviator.
Wait, what?
Yeah, around 1937.
There's an airport named after him, and he died in a plane crash.
Well, there's like the time I was in London.
Oh.
And it was post a very particular disaster. Aviation disaster, and we're outside of the airport because there's a bomb scare, and I look in front of me. I'm with a friend, and the person in front of me has a piece of luggage that's actually branded Amelia Earhart, and I thought, no, wow, that's pretty rough.
But he's still here, so
I'm serious to talk about it. I'm not a superstitious type. But I thought, oh man, that's going to be pretty rough.
I'll be back.
That's, why do people do such things?
Why would you name luggage Amelia Earhart? That's messed up.
Just think about history, folks. Just think about history. You could call it Pan Am or something. I don't know. Felix, please do something.
Is there still cider?
Yes. Yes, there is.
How much?
Enough for a topper. A substantial topper. Just saying. So you know. We might make something with such things. If I can't find something in the meantime, and boy, I find a lot of fun stuff, but it all does not actually do what we're talking about in terms of home improvement and houses and all that kind of stuff. Ugh. We work hard for you, so you don't have to. You could look through this thing endlessly, and you'd say, I don't know, all of this looks bad. But we try to find the good stuff for you. Because there's some really good drinks in here. A drink called the Nightmare. Why would you drink that? I don't know. One of these days I'll find something really great in there. We'll go from there. If we have any suggestions for home improvement cocktails that people have not mentioned yet, please.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah, pretty lost. Bermuda Triangle luggage. Yes, yes, Phil. Good grief! It's like your
Correct
luggage
on
is...
his death.
Ah!
Okay, so you expect your luggage to get lost. Oh, okay. No, that's in poor taste. I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to say that.
I had an idea, but then I decided it was in poor taste. So.
Well, you might still do it. I don't know.
No, I'm not going to do it.
This crowd understands that we do not do anything to harm anybody.
I'm going to do one called the lost luggage.
The lost luggage.
And that won't be in poor taste.
No.
Because what I was originally thinking would be in poor taste.
We're not going to do that here. But
no.
I love the idea of Bermuda Triangle luggage. That's just awesome. Like, you know, hey, like, the tagline should be like, never gets lost.
If you wouldn't mind removing these two
Oh, waiter, could you remove that?
Thank you. Could you remove that? All right. Lost luggage. As usual, we're doing a home improvement video, and, you know, like, we've changed themes, but it's all right.
The simple fact is, in order to go traveling, you need to leave from somewhere. And where do you leave from? You leave from home. Where is home? It could be an apartment. It could be a duplex. It could be a row home. It could be a townhouse. It could be a separated home.
Thank you for that.
It could be the sidewalk. You're living outside your suitcase. I don't know. But the simple fact is, you all need luggage to do what you do.
Lost luggage. I will take a Collins glass. Oh, look, there's one right there.
As it turns out, there's a Collins glass. Oh.
I will take that. I'll take that.
Hmm?
Yep.
There you go.
Thank you.
Please.
All
do
right.
you need ice in that little baby?
The glass?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I'll let her ride on that.
All right. Can you catch up on comments, please?
Glad to.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, morbid curiosity.
Lost luggage. I think you lost. Oh. These look like they don't like each other.
A drink called drywall. Oh.
Oh,
you
my
would have to have the most arid drink possible. I think that would involve some Amaro. Some really astringent stuff. And you drink and you're like, oh, I'm parched. The drywall. Got to work on that.
I'm thinking that's for the lost luggage.
That's hysterical.
Oh, 1 ounce of gin.
Okay.
That is a 1 ounce, right?
Yes, that's a 1.
Let's do 1 ounce.
I know my shot glasses. That's a 1.
All right.
1, 1.5. That's a pony and a shot. This is 3/4 and 1 1/4. They don't have funny names.
I'm using the Empress 1908 because we have it and it's beautiful.
And it's a special effects drink.
Exactly.
So there we go. Horsehair plaster. Oh, talk about your antiquated materials.
So, and then I'm going to do 5 dashes of cranberry bitters. Are you writing this down?
No. But I should.
So that was 1 ounce of the gin, 5 dashes of cranberry bitters. And then I'm going to go for 1/2 ounce of the fresh, no, 1/4 ounce fresh lemon juice.
1/4 ounce?
1/4 ounce.
Gin, bitters, lemon, and what else?
I'm going to fill with my cider.
Beer.
Beer. I'm going to fill with my cider beer. Lager. It's lager.
Yeah, lager.
It's lager.
So the lager, the lemon, the bitters, and the gin. That's it?
Yep.
The lost luggage.
Lost luggage.
You know, if you, and I do not wish this on anybody, if you happen to lose your luggage at some point in time and you have to be talking to fill in your airline of choice, You will need something that looks an awful lot like this at the end of that discussion.
Let's try it.
You might need it during that discussion. And then you might get your luggage back in a day or two. It will probably get back to you.
I'm just saying, for something I tossed off at the end of the night, this is good.
It's a fun thing.
I'm just saying, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious.
That's your basic improved Boilermaker right there. But definitely.
There's cider in here. You told me there was no cider.
I told you there was limited cider. You would not have been able to do enough of that. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying there is cider in there, but
I'm just saying.
This is delicious.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, wait. Speaking of luggage, wait, scroll. Yeah. Some comments here.
Oh, I did comment
on
that.
Drywall.
Oh, yeah. You have to check because you never know what you're getting, right? Well, we tend to have fairly unique looking luggage because you decided to get like these big,
leopard luggage with
hot pink
details.
It's not that hard to spot. Now, if you get
but
the
it's
luggage,
falling apart too. So
well, it's been beat up for a long time. You can't unless the thing was designed to be thrown around by a gorilla. Which brings us back to the Samsonite commercials of the 70s, then it's probably going to start falling apart. It's a shame. But if you have this sort of standard, like, black or, like, olive drab luggage that people have these days, here's the kicker. You can get that strap that goes around the luggage and holds it in place. And you can get that in, like, fluorescent orange.
Well, like people put bows and stuff.
Yeah. Make it unique. You can find your luggage.
Whatever.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking for a luggage. I'm like, oh, there we go. Leopard. Boom. Done. Nobody else has leopard. It's pretty easy.
Speaking of luggage, Errol always checks from the tag. Says he doesn't want to come home with some lady's lingerie and have to explain that.
What's that all about, Errol? Well, it turns out we had a layover in Omaha. Is what he said.
Oh, gosh.
I sympathize. We have been laid over many places. Who knows?
Oh, Devin says, I once lost my luggage at a Greyhound, and that was 2 weeks at my aunt's house with no clothes. Yeah, I believe that.
You're thinking of walking around naked. No, you weren't walking around naked. You had to do something. Ugh. These things.
Oh, my gosh.
Thanks a lot. Gotta buy new clothes.
Karen says the worst home improvement chore is peeling off the old wallpaper.
Oh.
I feel fortunate that we didn't have wallpaper in this house.
I was good with
the house
wallpaper.
he grew up in had a ton of wallpaper.
Yeah, not wallpaper. Yeah, I had to peel that off around 1986 in my old room.
Right.
Yeah, that took a lot of work, but actually it was enjoyable. Took care of that myself, and I took care of the painting, and I didn't recarpet it, but I did prepare it for that. Yeah, that was done.
So. This has been home improvement. I am determined that we will start painting this living room this weekend. Whether or not we're done this weekend is another story altogether.
It's usually another story.
We'll try.
I am not surprised if it takes longer because that's life, folks.
So, you all have a happy holiday weekend if you are in the U.S.
Yes, we're coming up on that day in no time at all.
The unofficial start of summer.
Yeah.
The unofficial start of summer, but
it feels like we've already been in summer so far.
It really does. It really does.
Really
it's
kind of
been
warm
super hot
in the Northeast. If you've not been getting that, okay.
My phone went weird for a minute.
Okay. We got it.
I hope you can see us. I don't know. Is Mercury in retrograde? Life has been weird, but anyway.
Who knows?
Thank you for joining us. We will be back next Thursday for another Look It Up Live broadcast.
Hello.
We will be here tomorrow with another vintage recipe.
True.
Well, two.
True.
To be fair, two. A vintage cocktail and...
We actually had an episode that dropped today that was actually shot on location in Ohio.
Tiki Underground.
I don't want to give short shrift to Tiki Underground because we had a great time there. Fantastic stuff. Good conversation. Good friends. Oh, and they did the whole thrift flea market thing. Fun things.
Amazing.
Fun things.
Totally amazing.
Great food, great drinks. It's just they're pushing so hard.
Yes.
At all times. It is all top notch. So I recommend Tiki Underground.
Definitely.
And the Thrift Mart. And we will be back
tomorrow.
What else? Yeah, Monday with Glendora.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
with a vintage recipe.
We might see Cousin Glennie at no time at all.
Monday.
But as always, no matter where you go and no matter what you do, we will see